Thank God it's Friday. Monday's a brand new start. Wednesday, you're halfway home, and Thursday, the weekend's not far. Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. What can you say about Tuesday? Nothing, not a damn thing. Tuesday bites, Tuesday sucks, Tuesday blows, go away. Tuesday's crap, Tuesday's lame, Tuesday's dumb, go away. Tuesday, Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. But what can you say about Tuesday? Nothing.
Except it's probably going to be pretty nice.
Like the rest of the week.
Yeah, sunny in the mid-70s today. Looks like same thing tomorrow, then up near 80 on Thursday and Friday, then dropping back down into the upper 60s on Saturday. We've got Shaw in the newsroom. Grant Bills from the Wisco Sports Show is going to join us later on, talking Packers and Packers. Spurs obviously done for the year, but we'll talk to him about this past weekend's Packer game. Also let you know what's new on New Release Tuesday. And, of course, if you need something, you can get in touch with us. Visit rockmornings.com.
And Milton. Man, all I could do was watch people evacuate last night and try to get the hell out of Tampa.
Out. If you're not out, then...
Well, they couldn't. I mean,
they're telling you that the governor down there said basically that if you don't leave, you're going to die.
Well...
Like, point blank said it. And, yeah, it's...
Well,
I've got friends of mine who are leaving, and they're worried that their house isn't going to be there when they come back. That's how bad it is.
And can't get out. That's the other tragic thing, you know. They're stuck in 30 mile long, and the kids were trying to leave the university campus within 4 hours, and there's no gas, and there's no hotels, and I couldn't. I was stuck to that horrific news last night.
Got some Chili Peppers coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw. The Hurricane Milton, big news.
Yep, here it comes.
What's the latest?
Florida's Gulf Coast is bracing for the impact of Hurricane Milton's winds and expected massive storm surge. The storm could bring destruction to cities and towns already reeling from Helene's devastation 12 days ago and still recovering from Ian's wrath 2 years ago. Almost the entirety of Florida's west coast is under a hurricane warning this morning. Milton's winds are some of the strongest seen. The strongest Atlantic hurricane on record is 1980's Allen, which reached wind speeds of 190 miles an hour. Milton's center could come ashore tomorrow in the Tampa Bay region. The area has not endured a direct hit by a major hurricane in more than a century. 1 year after being arrested on an attempted murder charge in La Crosse County, Freeman Cole is expected to be formally charged later this week. Cole is accused of trying to strangle a woman inside a South La Crosse storage unit in October of last year. Witnesses discovered Cole with the victim, and he fled. Cole has not cooperated with the court, refusing to leave his jail cell during recent hearings. Yesterday, Judge Gloria Doyle asked Cole to take part in the process, using verse to make her argument.
Give them a chance to fulfill their role. Fairness to you, the defendant, is their goal. Justice will prevail, I believe, if your cooperation we can receive. Your rap letter is better than my poem, you'll say, but in the end, I'm the judge, so we'll do it my way.
An attorney for Cole argues that the alleged attack was not serious enough to warrant an attempted homicide charge. Another cleanup of encampments in La Crosse has begun. City police and other authorities, including state police, are removing tents and other items from the Black River shore along Rose Street. People who have been camping in that area were notified several days ago that the removal effort would happen on October 7th. Boz was one of the people required to move from the riverfront, and he was pondering where he would go next.
Right now, we're just looking at options as far as going up into the woods. I started school about a month ago, so, I got to stay kind of close to La Crosse. I go to TC.
Large dumpsters have been placed near the highway for the disposal of items removed from the riverfront. A similar cleanup was conducted recently on a different part of the river, just north of Riverside Park. The Nobel Prize in Physics is being awarded today, a day after two American scientists won the Medicine Prize for their discovery of microRNA. Three scientists won last year's Nobel Prize in Physics for providing the first split-second glimpse into the supervast world of spinning electrons, a field field that could one day lead to better electronics or disease diagnoses. The physics prize, being announced today, carries a cash award of $1 million from a bequest left by the award's creator, Swedish inventor Alfred Nobel.
Smart people doing smart stuff.
Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom, and Milton, boy oh boy, so many people I know that are down in Florida and getting the hell out of there, trying to at least. Gene, obviously talking about it earlier too, almost impossible to get out of there because there's so many people trying to evacuate, and I think it was a mayor or the governor down there said basically that if you stay here, you're going to die. Well, they
won't be able to send in rescue teams, and they have so much garbage. That's the thing that's crazy. They have so much stacked up on the sides of the roads where people have cleaned out their houses, refrigerators and washing machines and carpet and couches and drywall, and it's mounded, and they couldn't get to it. And they're, the storm surge, if it hits, all that stuff's just projectiles. It's more stuff in the water. It's just nuts. I was watching a guy last night because it's 30 miles, 40 miles long on the Tampa Bay Bridge with people trying to get out, and they're just stuck in this traffic jam as they're trying to move across, of course, and get inland farther, and then there's no place to stay because the hotels are all booked. But this guy was trapped at the Tampa airport. He was like, I can't get a rental car because half of them were ruined in the last hurricane, so they don't even have them, and if they have them, they're already gone. I can't get a train. He's like, I'm just stuck here at this. I'm trying to get to at least Orlando, so I'm farther in. He's like, but I don't know what to do. Do I just start walking? I can't find transportation. I can't. It's like, ugh, dude.
Yeah, I have an aunt that lives down there, and she said if your friends are in the path and need a place to go, please let them know they can come here. We'll get a Category 1, but mild compared to what's happening on the West Coast. Yeah, it's going to be deadly. It's not going to be good.
I did look up our friends that had just recently moved, and they should probably be evacuating. They're not too far from Tampa.
Ugh.
And that's not even just the only hurricane news, because let's talk about Tennessee. How are those people faring today?
We actually have a former coworker who came up here for the Oktoberfest races, Diker, and Doc texted us and said Diker can't get home because
he's stuck. The airport's closed in Tampa.
He was supposed to fly home today. Flights were canceled Sunday afternoon, but oof. Not good.
Tomorrow, Thursday, right? Thursday's landfall?
Tomorrow is expected landfall, yeah. I mean, we hate our Wisconsin winters, but I'll tell you what, I'll take that over a hurricane any day.
Yeah, we had some severe weather growing up in New England, being close to the ocean and stuff, but it was never, we had hurricanes, but it was never like what they're seeing down in Florida.
Right. Well, this one may be unprecedented.
Awful. More from Shaw coming up in just a bit, plus sports after some Chili Peppers, which is coming up after this hailstorm and I Prevail.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Here's Kelsey, makes a move, and he's out of bounds.
The missus likes it.
And they're not married.
Oh, I know.
What is it with ex-Cowboy quarterbacks?
I'm sure I'm in trouble
married
for saying that.
I know. It's do not. It happens.
Troy Aikman slipping up, calling her the missus after Travis Kelce caught a pass during Monday Night Football.
Whatever.
Week 5 in the NFL wrapping up last night with the Kansas City Chiefs beating the New Orleans Saints.
Kind of saw that coming a little bit.
26-13. Saints quarterback David Carr leaving the game in the fourth quarter with a oblique injury due for an MRI later on today. Week 6 in the NFL will kick off on Thursday night with the 49ers at the Seahawks on Prime at 7:15. Bears will be in London. Jolly old London town. Last week it was the Vikings. This week it's the Bears.
Wow.
They'll be taking on the Jaguars at 8:30 on the NFL Network on Sunday morning. Packers host the Cardinals on Sunday at noon. Lions in Dallas to take on the Cowboys at 3:25 on Sunday. The Vikings will be on the bye this week. MLB playoffs continuing yesterday with the Tigers over the Guardians 3-0. They tie that series up at a game apiece. Royals doubled up on the Yankees 4-2. They tie that series up at one apiece as well. And today you've got the Phillies in New York taking on the Mets. 4:08 first pitch on FS1 for Game 3 of that series, which is tied up at one apiece. Dodgers at the Padres at 8:08 tonight on FS1. Game 3 that series also knotted up at a game apiece. WNBA playoffs continue tonight with a decisive Game 5 between the Connecticut Sun and the Minnesota Lynx at 7 o'clock on ESPN2. The winner of that series and that game will move on to face the New York Liberty in the WNBA Finals, which start on Thursday nights. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur said yesterday that he came away from his meeting with suspended wide receiver Romeo Doubs optimistic that the issues that led to the team's disciplinary actions have been addressed. The team suspended him on Saturday for a game after he missed a couple of days of practice and some meetings on Thursday and Friday last week. The Packers, of course, ended up winning on Saturday or Sunday without him, but he was reinstated earlier this week. He said, LaFleur said, quote, "What's done is done. We're moving forward. I expect us collectively as a team to continue to move that way." So it sounds like all's well that ends well. Maybe cleared the air about his grievances. And a month after a new lawsuit was filed accusing Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson of sexual assault and battery, the case has been resolved, according to the plaintiff's lawyer. Tony Busby told ESPN last night on behalf of the woman, quote, "We have now resolved our client's claim with Deshaun Watson. The settlement is confidential." Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, later also confirmed that the case had been resolved.
So they figured out some sort of
money
financial arrangement.
Is my guess. Money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And Patriots safety Jabril Peppers in some big trouble. He was arrested on Saturday in Braintree, Massachusetts, after allegedly choking his girlfriend and pushing her down a flight of stairs. Police report says that Peppers was arrested after police were called about a residential disturbance in a home. His girlfriend reportedly called police at 4 a.m. on Saturday, said that her boyfriend had hit her, choked her at least 6 times, and then smashed her head against the wall and then pushed her down the stairs and put her outside. He's saying that apparently she wanted to have sex without a condom on, and he got upset, and they argued, but he said she fell down the flight of stairs on her own, and he didn't do any of the other stuff. I guess there was cocaine involved as well.
He didn't lock her out of it either.
Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get back to Shaw in just a bit. Let you know what's new on New Release Tuesday in a few minutes. And if you need something, get in touch with us. Find us online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Welcome to Amazon Prime Big Deal Days. What makes this different from Amazon Prime Day? We only discount personal favorites of Jeff Bezos. That's right. Today and tomorrow only get great deals on diamond spaceships, private island helipads, jetpacks made of T-Rex bone, Rolex, not Rolex the watch, Rolex, the whole company, a Kraken. We know, Krakens don't exist, but Jeff Bezos paid God to make one. And of course, Rogaine. Amazon Prime Big Deal Days. Hurry, offers are only good while supplies last. But supplies will last.
A Kraken.
We're getting a battery-powered / rechargeable fan.
For like the Rockfest area?
No, so
camping and stuff?
The last couple of months, we've had some, I don't know, this was over a month ago, but we had some storms, knocked the power out. And when you're trying to sleep and you're used to having a fan on, you know what I mean, ambient noise, and then you don't have that, it makes it difficult to sleep. So my wife's apparently going to be getting some kind of battery-powered fan / rechargeable fan.
I have a fan app for when we travel.
We did that once, and it just doesn't sound right.
Oh, it doesn't sound right, but it works. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we tried it years ago, and we were in a hotel, and it wasn't working out so well, so we ended up just going to Walmart and buying a fan. And now we take a vacation fan whenever we go somewhere. But, this will be some sort of, in case of emergency type fan.
So it's October Prime Day, essentially, and there's some deals. If you're looking for like a cordless vac, for instance, Shaw, you can get one today for a couple $100 less, if that's something you're interested.
Right before
Apple
the holidays,
iPad,
right?
Also, big deal on that one, $130 off if that's something you want to get for somebody for Christmas.
It's also National Fluffer Nutter Day, Shaw.
Is it?
You ever have a Fluffer Nutter?
I don't believe I have.
Fluff and peanut butter instead of peanut butter and jelly. It's kind of a New England thing, I feel.
It's that marshmallow cream, right?
Yeah. And I never really heard people out here talking about it, but we used to have them all the time when I was a kid.
Did you really?
Oh,
yeah. No.
National Pierogi Day, right? A little dumpling filled with like meat and cheese and stuff, right? Potato. Salmon Day, if you want to have some salmon. And also Face Your Fears Day. So if you want to go swimming with some sharks.
Or swimming at all.
Or swimming at all, yeah. Face my fears.
Don't call me because I'm not going.
Even a deep hot tub, really, Shaw.
Right.
Oof. It's also New Release Tuesday, and if you're looking for something on DVD this week, you've got A Quiet Place Day 1, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, Jamon Hanzu is in this one as well. She finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of the invasion by the alien creatures. which we've seen, obviously. They react to sound.
It's pretty good.
It was okay. Harold and the Purple Crayon, rated PG, starring Zachary Levi, Lil Rel Howery, Zoe Deschanel, Alfred Molina. It's based on the book, right? Harold and his Purple Crayon. He can basically make anything happen by drawing. Maxine, rated R, starring Mia Goth, Giancarlo Esposito. Halsey's in that one. 1980s Hollywood, an adult film star and aspiring actress, Maxine Minx, finally gets her big break, but a mysterious killer is stalking the starlets of Hollywood. Thelma, rated PG-13. This actually looks kind of funny. It's got June Squibb, Parker Posey, Clark Gregg, Richard Roundtree. 93-year-old Thelma gets duped by a phone scammer pretending to be her grandson, so she sets out on a treacherous quest across the city to reclaim what was taken from her, Shaw.
Angry grandma.
Also, that movie Kinds of Kindness, rated R, starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, Willem Dafoe. New release Tuesday. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Season 12. Interview with a Vampire, Season 2. NCIS Hawaii, final season there. And The Night Agent, Season 1, new on DVD. You're looking for television tonight, Dancing with the Stars. It's hair metal night, Shaw.
Is it?
On Disney Plus and AMC. So they dance to hair metal?
So it's like a mosh pit.
Like girls.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure it's what they don't. We wouldn't consider it to be that.
The Voice over on NBC, Part 4 of the blind auditions. There's a new 1-hour Oprah special tonight called The Presleys, Elvis, Lisa Marie, and Riley. That's on CBS. Ali Wong, new special from her on Netflix called Single Lady. Fallon's got Chris Pine, as his guest. Harrison Ford's going to be on with Kimmel. The Vice President, Kamala Harris, will be on with Colbert, and Nathan Lane on with Seth Meyers.
I'll tell you what, that Secret Life of Diddy tomorrow night. I might tune into that.
Who's doing it?
It's a 2020 special, apparently.
Okay.
ABC's airing it. So, isn't 50 Cent making like a documentary about he hates him so much, and he went basically investigated it and tried to figure it out on his own, Shaw?
That runs deep, apparently, huh?
Yeah. The word on the street right now is that the celebrities are paying off people.
I heard that too.
To keep their names out of the press.
Yeah,
that's the rumor.
The lawyer that has reached out and contacted them, and apparently there's big
checks being written.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see.
Got a text from Jake who said Milwaukee fan off a 6.0 battery M18 lasts over 16 hours. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
We saw one. We went out to an apple orchard, Eckers, a couple weeks ago, and it was still pretty warm outside, and people had one, and my wife asked where they got it, and they told her on Amazon, so I think she's going to get that one. We'll see. Sean, the newsroom for Three-Way. What else happening?
Well, not even 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene swamped the Florida coastline, Milton has now strengthened into a major hurricane on a direct path toward the state. Milton is expected to hit the densely populated Tampa metro area, which has about 3.3 million people. Traffic was thick on the interstate heading north yesterday as evacuees tried to flee in advance of Milton. Crews are also hurrying to clear debris that was left behind by Helene. Milton is forecast to make landfall late tomorrow. It's expected to be a Category 3 storm, which have winds of up to 129 miles per hour. A massive storm surge and widespread flooding from heavy rainfall is expected. A weekend crash near Mindoro killed a 34-year-old driver. Andrew Beckstrom's vehicle went off a La Crosse County road early Saturday morning and hit a guardrail. Beckstrom was declared dead at the scene. La Crosse County has now reported 6 traffic deaths in 2024, passing the 5 highway deaths in the county last year. The effort to control camping in public areas of La Crosse has led to the removal of tents along the Black River. About 24 people were moved out of the riverfront area along Rose Street yesterday. Boz was one of the people looking for a new place for shelter.
They gave us about a month in advance to let us know, but they pushed up the date a little while sooner because people are complaining.
Dumpsters were brought to an area near the Welcome to La Crosse sign so crews could dispose of trash taken from the camping area. The cost of a Mega Millions lottery ticket will soon more than double.
Yeah, this sucks.
But officials say they're confident players won't mind paying more after changes that will lead to larger prizes and more frequent winners.
We've already had larger prizes.
$3?
Right.
$4?
No, $5.
$5?
That's what it will cost to play Mega Millions beginning in April. That's up from the current $2 per ticket. Yeah. Along with the high price, they plan changes leading to improved jackpot odds, more frequent giant prizes, and larger payouts. Mega Millions and Powerball are sold in 45 states, and Powerball does not plan to increase its prices.
Yeah, we've been seeing record jackpots.
Right?
I mean, it takes longer to get there, obviously, because it's got to build. But, I mean, we just, in the last 2 years, we've talked about huge jackpots.
I don't understand how they...
Like $1 billion.
I guess I don't know enough about the lottery to know how they can make... Yeah, how can they can... We're going to make people win more often? Isn't it up to the balls?
Well, yes, but they can change the number combinations, for example, or how much they pay out for a winning. Whether you get 3 in the number ball, whatever.
Yeah.
So they can change those odds and the payout.
Instead of twice a week, do it 3 or 4 times a week, maybe every other day.
I think they already do it 3 times a week, don't they?
I thought
it was just twice.
Is it twice? Okay. But I don't know. I'm not throwing down $5 for a ticket. I mean, $2, sure, but I don't know. $5.
I'm sure they look at the scratch offs and they say, well, people are buying the $5 and $10 and $20 ones, and yeah. The only time I play is when the jackpots get huge.
Me too.
Me too. So
maybe they're trying to encourage people to play when the jackpots aren't huge. Mm-hmm. That's what they're trying to do here, Shaw. Shinedown coming up in just a bit. More 3 Ways with Shaw, plus Grant Bills from the Wisco Sports Show is going to join us later. Right now, it's Metallica.
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
Metallica with Fuel on Rock Mornings. Brian and Gene. Doc texting in, talking about Diker up here from Florida.
And he was stuck.
And now he's stuck. Flights are all canceled down there.
Although, maybe that's okay, except obviously he doesn't want to be away from his family, but...
Yeah. Sheila texted in, said, great tunes on my way into work today. Thank you. You're welcome, Sheila. Also, thanks to Jake, who texted in, said the Milwaukee fan off of a 6.0 battery M18 lasts over 16 hours.
A Milwaukee brand, that is? You're talking about getting a portable, like a... battery-operated fan?
Big deal day or whatever the hell it's called. Big deals day today. Amazon today and tomorrow. Is it today and tomorrow?
And there's a portable fan? It's like a...
Yeah, so it's a small, like, I don't know, tabletop fan, but it runs on a battery, like a rechargeable battery, as opposed to having to plug into the wall. So just in case, the power goes out and trying to sleep during the middle of the night and you don't have that white noise, that ambient noise. We tried the app, like I said, years ago. It didn't really work on our phone. I mean, it worked, but the sound wasn't right.
Yeah, I use it because it's super convenient. You don't have to, and I can get used to it. Amazon Prime day deals. A lot of
shopping.
Electronics, obviously.
Yeah.
Always.
Things
TVs.
that people want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Got that Shinedown in a couple of minutes. And thanks, Jake, Sheila, and Doc. If you want to get in touch with us, find us online at rockmornings.com. Check out our daily podcast on the website. Listen to the show live. Get in contact with us. Find our social media. All that stuff. Right there at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings. Monday to Friday, 6 to 9.
A couple of BFFs in Florida. Obviously, the news in Florida right now is not all that good.
No.
But here's a little bit of good news. BFFs in Florida found out they were both pregnant at the same time. Ended up giving birth on the same day in the same hospital.
Oh, my gosh. What?
Due dates were 8 days apart, but that's not how it all worked out. The first one had her baby just after midnight. Then she got moved, and the second friend gave birth in the same delivery room. Both of them had healthy young baby boys.
Are you pregnant?
Me too! What?
Who's coming to play? Look at.
Oh, my gosh.
Back in May, Carolyn announced her pregnancy to her best friend, Callie, only to get a surprise of her own when her friend said she was also expecting.
And to be that close and expecting, not a month apart or even 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks apart, but at the same development.
Carolyn wrote on Instagram, quote, our due dates were 8 days apart, so we always joked around with the idea that we all could be in the hospital at the same time. Never did we think our boys would be born on the very same day. We think those kids are going to be BFFs?
You think so? Yes. There'll be a lot of mutual shared parties, like birthday events.
Back in August, the best friends both went into labor, delivered their baby boys on the same day in the very same hospital. Her precious baby born a bit after 12 a.m. on Tuesday. The hospital we were at had a max capacity, so a few hours after she gave birth to her baby boy, they moved her to triage. As the morning rolls around, I heard I head to the hospital and was placed in the exact room where she delivered her baby in. My son was born later that afternoon with the same midwife group. Can't make this stuff up, she said.
Mm-mm. There'll be a lot of pictures of those two growing up together.
Yeah, you think? Similar outfits, that kind of stuff? Oh, yeah. The video doesn't provide a lot, but a very small Jack Russell in England fell into a very deep crack between two rocks, sort of, in a field somewhere.
Mm-hmm, crevasse.
Volunteers working for an entire week, to save this dog. Her name is Rose. She slipped through a 12-inch gap and was stuck 40 feet down. 12-inch gap. How do you get down there as a human?
No, you don't. You can't.
They had to use heavy machinery to chip away at the rock.
You're going to have to make that bigger.
Slowly, over the course of several days. And they refused to quit even when officials told them it was too dangerous to continue working on it. They said, nope, we're going to get this dog out, and that's exactly what they did. And again, the video doesn't provide a lot. It's just sort of the moment when they get her out, and they're like, we're taking her right to the vet.
Go on, Ben. Go on, Ben. Yeah! Get up, Ben! Good girl.
Got her, boy. Sound. It's going straight to the vets now.
Yeah. Rose, the Jack Russell, fell into a very small crack in the steep section of a cliff between a couple of towns back in late September. Volunteers working at the site each and every day despite fears over safety with heavy machinery used to drill into the rock. Video live streamed on social media. Rose can be seen carried from the scene wrapped in a coat with one rescuer saying that she was going straight to the vet.
That is some dedication.
Apparently they were able to get food and water down there for her while she was
for
stuck.
Sure, water, yeah.
But 7 days they worked on that thing to get that dog out. Maybe change her name to Lucky Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe fatten her up so she doesn't fit down a 12-inch crack anymore. Yeah. We've got Magnetic from Wage War in a couple of minutes. Also some Three Doors Down, so stick around for that.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Every Halloween, they hit the streets, looking for something good to eat. Walking an average of 22 blocks, 1.25 miles, over 4,500 steps, creating an unholy brew of feet perspiration, demanding you smell them in exchange for a treat. So protect yourself with Airheads Trick or Treat Smell My Feet Candy Scented Foot Spray. It smells like cherry Airheads.
Yeah. So, Airheads, Shaw. Familiar with Airheads?
It's been a long time, but yes.
They have a foot spray coming out this Halloween just for trick-or-treaters who knock on your door and say, trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.
I don't even like feet.
So
Might like them better if they smell like Airheads, though.
They can spritz their toesies.
Spritzy spray to smell like cherry
To
candy.
smell like cherry foot spray. It's called the Trick or Treat Smell My Feet can. It is shaped like a foot, by the way.
Limited editions.
Right up your alley, Shaw. They say it's for parents with smelly feet who have to accompany their children on Halloween. The promo video says the average trick-or-treater walks 1.25 miles. Airheadsfootspray.com. You can sign up to win a can.
Oh, you can't buy it?
Nah, not for sale. But you can sign up to win a can starting, I believe, next Monday, the giveaways. Airheadsfootspray.com. Also, Krispy Kreme launching a line of Ghostbusters donuts, including a pull-apart Stay Puft Marshmallow Man donut. They've got a Slimer donut.
So it's like jelly-filled, is that?
Yeah. The first of the new Krispy Kreme Ghostbusters collection is the Ghostbusters Cookies and Cream Donut. This take on an original glazed donut dips it in a chocolate icing. Then it's topped with Oreo pieces, Oreo buttercream, and a No Ghost logo. So like the Ghostbusters logo. They also have the Ecto Sprinkled Donut, made up of an original glazed donut, orange icing dip with partial covering and neon sprinkles, adding a spooktacular Halloween look. And then you've got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man donut pull-apart.
So it looks like him?
Yeah, it's kind of like, it almost looks like a Long John if it had like,
with like
arms
little
or,
face. Yeah.
But you're able to get those.
Limited time, Shaw. Limited
Also,
time.
I think Burger King is doing like a purple Whopper.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You see that?
No.
It's
an Addams Family menu, and they have changed the buns. And they've done this with different colors before. They did red. I think we've seen black buns, but purple. The Addams Family menu at Burger King, including 4 items that will be inspired by an Addams Family member. The new menu includes Wednesday's Whopper, the traditional flame-grilled Whopper topped with Swiss cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, mayo, ketchup, pickles, onions, toasted on a purple bun. Gets its hue from purple potato topped with black sesame seeds. Things rings. That's the hand guy, right?
Yes. So they're served in
signature
like a
onion
hand.
rings served in a themed packaging of the Addams Family's beloved but mysterious one-handed helper.
So it's a hand container sort of, Shaw.
Gomez's churro fries, fried churros coated in cinnamon sugar paired with chocolate dipping sauce. That sounds delicious. And then Morticia's Kooky Chocolate Shake. Creamy soft serve mixed with chocolate cake batter fudge and topped with black and purple cookie pieces. But yeah, those are all available at Burger King. They just reunited, too, the cast. Did you see that?
No.
The Addams Family movies that had Christopher Lloyd and...
Did they do like a Q&A? Because that's very popular right now to do that.
what was his name? Paul Julia? Raul Julia. The living cast members, they reunited at like a Comic-Con recently, so...
Huh.
Yeah. So there you go. Some unique Halloween-themed food items to go along with all the candy you're going to ingest over the next couple of weeks. And a foot spray, Shaw.
Yeah.
Passion fruit spray?
Just to have the limited edition can. That's
the can is
novel.
Right.
It's not actually going to be used.
Shaped like a foot.
Yet.
Right up your alley, Shaw.
Yeah.
Think of all the things you could use that for.
Decorations. Yeah.
Think of all the things, Shaw.
You use it as a hammer. You know what I mean?
They come in handy, Shaw.
Something that needs to be hammered. You can just walk by and just give it a little taparoo with the foot.
Boom.
A foot can. 3-way now with Shaw in the newsroom. What else going on?
An accident between a train and a tractor claimed one life in northeast Iowa. It happened yesterday afternoon around 2:30. The Winneshiek County Sheriff's Office says the collision happened in Fort Atkinson, Iowa. One person died as a result of the crash, and the Canadian Pacific Railway and police are investigating. Jury selection is underway in the trial of Adam Fravel, the man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend in Winona County last year. A total of 158 potential jurors are being interviewed, and 16 of them will be selected to hear the case. Fravel is accused of killing Madeline Kingsbury in March of 2023 and then hiding her body. He's facing 4 counts of murder. Jury selection could last much of this week, and the trial could last 2 to 3 weeks. That trial was moved to Mankato because of pretrial publicity in the Winona area. The Toma man arrested last month for a murder from the 1980s is scheduled to be back in court today. Michael Popp returns to Vernon County Court to continue his initial appearance, which began on September 24th. Popp is accused of killing La Crosse area woman Terry Dalloway in 1985. Dalloway's headless body was discovered burning in a ditch. Popp was 21 years old at the time. His cash bond was set at $1 million during his first appearance. A La Crosse judge finds probable cause to put Freeman Cole on trial for attempted murder for allegedly attacking a woman inside a storage unit. Cole is facing multiple charges for the incident that happened a year ago this month. On Monday, Cole continued his recent practice of refusing to leave his jail cell to come to the courtroom for a hearing. A police investigator testified in court that witnesses heard a woman screaming from inside a storage unit and discovered Cole reportedly trying to strangle her. Cole fled from the scene and was arrested out of state a few weeks after the attack. Judge Gloria Doyle has scheduled another hearing for Cole this Friday. A former elementary school teacher in Hudson, Wisconsin, will stand trial on 10 felony counts of having an inappropriate relationship with her 5th grade student. Madison Bergman is facing charges of child enticement, sexual misconduct by school staff, and use of a computer to facilitate a child sex crime.
Whoa.
She was arrested in May after school staff members reported seeing the teacher kissing the boy. Investigators uncovered more than 100 love letters between the two, and a search of the teacher's cell phone showed 33,000 text messages between the teacher and the student. Bergman will be back in court on November 7th.
33,000
text messages, yes.
In what span of time?
Don't know.
Because it sounds like a lot, but if it's over the course of...
like a lot.
I mean, not that it matters anyway. I mean, you're a pedo, but still, like.
Well, and you think you're getting into the gray matter and making things like obsessive and weird and all that with that kind of communication with a 10-year-old?
Right,
fifth grader, it's 11, probably 10, 11. Jesus Christ,
right?
That's sick.
It is.
Yep.
Ish. Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. Got a text from Mike. He thought I was going to get a generator. Yes, I would like to have a generator for the house so that if the power goes out, I don't have to have a battery-powered fan. But you know what costs less than a generator, Shaw?
A battery-powered
fan. Mm-hmm. Knock on wood, whenever the power's gone out, we've had it restored within a few hours, so I haven't really had the need for the generator.
We were just talking about that this weekend, about maybe potentially getting one.
Really?
Yeah, we saw
doomsday preppers now. What's going on?
No, not at all. But just, I mean, all of these situations where there's no power for a long time. It was small and it was quiet and it ran. Where the hell were we?
Yeah, I mean, you these at home, the ones that are connected to your house, not like the ones, the portable ones, which are really loud or can be really loud. These at home ones, they're pretty quiet.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Jeans is becoming a doomsday prepper. So you need that 5-gallon bucket of macaroni and cheese or whatever.
Biscuits from.
Yeah, you need some of them Rush Limbaugh seed blankets. Is that what was he hawking, Shaw?
No, I don't remember.
Limbaugh, didn't he have a seed blanket thing that you put in your basement, hydroponics?
I don't remember.
Is that what he was doing?
Make some tomatoes, basement tomatoes.
Yeah. Just whatever cracks in your foundation you have, just plant some seeds in there. Best of luck with your Jenny there.
No, it was funny because we've never talked about it before, and it was just kind of like, oh, that one's small and quiet, and maybe we should think about that. And then we did something
I told you
else.
I've wanted one since we bought our first house because, like I said, when I was a kid and we had a lot of severe weather in New England, you would lose power for a week in the wintertime at times. You know what I mean? And you just have to find a friend that had power at their house and go live with them while you waited for your street to get turned back on. It's like. So yeah, when we bought our first house, I told my wife I wanted to get a Jenny, and we haven't really had much need for it or whatever even with that hurricane that whatever that was that came through in 2007.
Yeah, the straight line wind, tornado.
We had power. I don't know. We lost power for maybe a day or whatever it was. It wasn't that much. But. Mm-hmm. Got some 3 Doors Down coming up after Wage War. It's Magnetic.
Rock Mornings on 95.7 The Rock.
The stadium is rocking, time to crank up the sound.
The NFL's best have come to play. Coast to coast, there's just one thing left to say. A.
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
The tough get rough in a primetime fight.
More than a game, it's every fan's right.
Waiting all day for a Sunday night.
Oof.
Well, they're athletes, not singers. They're not paid to sing.
Oof.
They're not.
Oof.
They're athletes, not.
Not a single one of them had a shred of singing talent.
Not a note.
Cowboys and Steelers players trying to sing trying to sing the Carrie Underwood Sunday night football theme song. Waiting all day for Sunday night.
They tried.
That they did. Funny video if you haven't seen it. Week 5 showdown, Carrie Underwood. Week 5 in the NFL did wrap up last night with the Chiefs over the Saints, 26-13. Week 6 will kick off on Thursday night with the 49ers at the Seahawks. That game on Prime at 7:15. Bears will be in London early Sunday morning, 8:30 on NFL Network to take on the Jaguars. Packers welcome in the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday at noon. Lions are in Dallas to take on the Cowboys at 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Vikings will have a bye this week.
The Buccaneers left today.
Yeah, they moved to go to New Orleans to practice. And
they got hotel rooms and they left to go to New Orleans, obviously avoiding to take another flight later this week, which probably wouldn't be happening.
Major League Baseball playoffs continuing yesterday with the Tigers over the Guardians, 3-0. That series now tied at a piece. The other ALDS is also tied up at a game apiece after the Royals doubled up the Yankees 4-2. Today you've got A couple of series in the NLDS that are also tied up at a game apiece. Phillies at Mets, 4:08 on FS1 for Game 3. Dodgers at the Padres, 8:08 on FS1 for Game 3 of that NLDS, which is, again, also tied up at a game apiece. WNBA playoffs will continue tonight. A decisive Game 5 between the Connecticut Sun and the Minnesota Lynx. That game on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Winner will move on and take on the New York Liberty in the WNBA Finals, which start on Thursday. Speaking of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark not playing anymore. Just recently got some new hardware. She's now going to go and take her talents to the golf course. She's going to play in a Pro-Am. Going to the Annika in November, the penultimate tournament in the LPGA Tour schedule, hosted by Annika Sorenstam. She'll play in the Pro-Am, be a panelist at the Women's Leadership Summit at the Pelican Golf Club. And, of course, Caitlin Clark, who's the WNBA Rookie of the Year, said last month when the Indiana Fever were eliminated, she planned to play golf until it got too cold in Indiana, saying with a smile, quote, she would become a professional golfer. Why not both?
It's been... People have played dual sports before.
I don't know if she could, schedule-wise, make that a reality.
No.
But.
So the Lightning got canceled again? The reschedule from the other hurricane now had to get rescheduled again because of this hurricane?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that when it comes to the sports schedule, so maybe not a lot, but there'll be some of that. So check on that. Sports on Rock Mornings next hour. We'll be joined by Grant Bills of the Wisco Sports Show. Also going to get back to Shaw in just a bit.
He'll be talking Packers, maybe some Badgers.
Yeah, Badgers, a nice little win over Purdue. And Packers, of course, kind of a rough win, but still got the victory over the weekend.
Yeah, I would say sort of rough, yes.
Audio slave in a couple minutes. Get in touch with us. Visit rockmornings.com for all our contact info.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Shaw in the newsroom. You ever play Tetris?
Long time ago, probably.
Of course. Everybody has, right? Whether it was on a Game Boy or a Super Nintendo. At some point, at an arcade maybe.
You lined your blocks up.
You waited for that really long one. You're like, I'm just waiting for that really. I got to get all 4 or 5 of them. I got to get that one. Never fell. But you probably didn't get too far, right? Once the game starts picking up speed and the song gets a little faster, you're like, I'm in trouble. I am in big trouble. There are some people, however, who have made it their goal to beat Tetris. And it actually happened, I don't know if you remember, but earlier this year, back in January, there was a 13-year-old kid from Oklahoma that went so far on the game that it froze up.
Oh, yes.
Got a green screen or whatever.
Oh my God! Oh, yes! I can't feel my fingers. If you set your mind to something and you put work into it, most likely you will get it if you try hard enough.
That is 13-year-old Willis Gibson, a competitive Tetris player from Oklahoma who went so far in the original Nintendo version of the game that it froze, saying, I can't feel my fingers. Wow. Somebody just went next level.
Am I dreaming, bro?
Yeah. Not dreaming, but did spend a long, long time playing Tetris and got so far that the game basically reset. So instead of freezing, it goes back to level 1, essentially. So when you start, Shaw, it's real slow.
Right.
And to-chunk, you're moving the pieces around, and you actually have to move it down fast on your own, right? Because you're like, it's taking so long.
And then, he was live streaming, so this is really happening.
And he live streamed it all on his Twitch or whatever, hundreds of thousands of people watching this kid, and he actually reset the game.
Oh my God, I actually thought I was going to end at 254. I just messed it up. All the ore is gone now. It's all gone. It's actually all gone, bro. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God, Ash got rebirth. Oh my God!
They call it a rebirth, Shaw.
So
in the game.
When it just says, forget it, I'm going to start
There's no
over.
more levels. There's no more faster, harder, difficult
levels. It doesn't just say, congratulations, you've made it to the end.
It doesn't even say that. It just resets to the slow one. So yeah, the kid back in January made it to level 157 before the game finally crashed. This kid, though, made it all the way to like 255. 16-year-old named Michael Artiaga, using the alias Dog Playing Tetris, on his Twitch stream. Became the first person to achieve rebirth, which is when you get so far that the game rolls all the way back to the ultra slow level 0.
Dude.
Michael's run took over 80 minutes.
On that level.
Completed 255 levels, cleared 3,300 lines. Immediately realized that he had achieved the first mythical rebirth live in front of hundreds of his viewers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Freaking out. Able to keep the game going, however, for another 40 minutes since it was super slow again. Right? Got a little break, a little reprieve, could go to the bathroom. He finally topped out with a total of 4,216 lines and a record 29.4 million points. He said, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that game is over, bro. I never want to play this game again, bro. I was starting to lose my mind."
Yeah, I bet. Apparently playing an edition of the game made for Nintendo that prevents crashes after 155. So it's set to not crash after that. But, woo. Did you get to the end of Tetris? I did, actually. I did.
I would put that right at the top of my resume.
Oh, yeah.
I'm that guy.
What qualities do you have that make you a valuable employee at this company? Well, I beat Tetris.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, that thing that only I did.
It took 35 years for somebody to do that, by the way.
Yeah.
It was long.
Well, there's people out there like you've heard. There's professional Tetris players. That's what all they do is play the game to like try to beat it. And this kid finally did.
Long considered unbeatable, considering the speeds at the upper levels. But this kid, the 16-year-old.
Bro, there's times where you see them and you're like, nope, F it. And you're just like,
I'm going to die here today.
Well, you just press the down button. You're like, I'm hitting the reset button on my own because they ain't going to get any better. Yeah. 255 levels. Oh, man.
Mind-bending speed.
Oh, yeah. How do you even know? I mean, you got to be completely like focused and locked in and yeah. Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. What else is happening?
Well, Hurricane Milton has weakened slightly today, but remains a ferocious storm that could land a once-in-a-century direct hit on Tampa and St. Petersburg, engulfing that populous region with towering storm surges and turning debris from Helene's devastation 12 days ago into projectiles. Almost the entirety of Florida's west coast is under a hurricane warning as the storm and its 155-mile-an-hour winds spin just off Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, creeping toward the state. Milton's center could come ashore tomorrow night in the Tampa Bay area, which has a population of more than 3 million people. The county that's home to Tampa has ordered evacuations for areas adjacent to the bay and for all mobile and manufactured homes by later tonight. Jury candidates will be questioned today in Mankato for the Adam Fravel murder trial. Fravel is accused of killing his girlfriend, Madeline Kingsbury, last year in Winona County. The case has been moved to Mankato because of concerns that too many potential jurors in Winona have heard about the case. A group of more than 100 people has been summoned for jury selection, which may continue for the rest of this week. The Fravel trial may last for most of October. Another cleanup of encampments in La Crosse is underway. City police and other authorities, including state police, are removing tents and other items from the Black River shore along Rose Street. People who've been camping in that area were notified several days ago that a removal effort would happen on October 7th. Large dumpsters have been placed near the highway for the disposal of items being removed from the riverfront. A similar cleanup was conducted recently on a different part of the river just north of Riverside Park. President Joe Biden comes to Wisconsin today to celebrate a legislative achievement rather than campaigning for Senator Tammy Baldwin. Biden will be in Milwaukee to speak about efforts to replace hazardous lead pipes in city water systems. But Baldwin will not appear with the president. She will be in Eau Claire instead, attending a Farm Bureau event. The head of the state Republican Party argues that Baldwin does not want to be seen with Biden because of his unpopularity. And humanity is hitting the upper limit of life expectancy, according to a new study. Advances in medical technology and genetic research.
We're maxing out?
Pardon? Yeah, we're maxing out. Not to mention larger numbers of people making it to age 100 are not translating into market jumps in lifespan overall, according to researchers who found shrinking longevity increases in countries with the longest living populations. They say they recognize there is a limit and that perhaps people should reassess the assumptions about when they should retire and how much money they'll need to live out the rest of their lives.
What about this billionaire biohack guy? You ever read about him?
Don't think so.
Yes.
His name is Brian Johnson.
Paying to reverse the
and he's like a millionaire or whatever, multimillionaire,
aging.
and he's apparently trying to reverse the aging process. He's doing everything and anything he can to try to reverse the aging process. He's a biohacker.
Okay.
So is what they call him. Entrepreneur, venture capitalist, self-proclaimed health rejuvenation athlete, impressive history of striking big number deals, mobile pay apps, blah, 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 blah,
Shares
blah.
photos kind of his age reversing, if you will, Shaw.
But yeah, his personal project centers on age reversal, and through which he claims to have achieved an epigenetic age, whatever the hell that means, reversal of 5.1 years, meaning his heart now functions like a 37-year-old, not like a 45-year-old. He's got kids, too. Can you imagine how fun their lives are? This guy's out there. You think Tom Brady's diet is weird. I bet this guy's eating all sorts of wacky stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Dad,
biohacker.
I just want to have a birthday party with some candy and cake and a
Can I just have a burger? What do you mean we don't have any ketchup?
No, I don't think so.
I know it's red sugar. I'm fine with that. It's delicious. That's why they make it. Stop biohacking me, Dad. Brian Johnson, the biohacker. He'll get us there, Shaw. We got to go to space, right? Isn't that the deal?
Is that how it works?
Well, the bone density and all that, the gravity,
you don't squish
the
it.
effects of gravity on your body and all that stuff, right? So
you don't age as fast in space.
Supposedly, right? That's the deal.
I'm not going to space to save my bone density, Shaw. I'll just take more calcium pills.
There you go.
Tear the lid off this one. More from Shaw coming up, plus bad news, happy music. Grant Bills of the Wisco Sports Show going to join us at about 8:25. It's Audio Slave.
Rock mornings on your rock station.
Audio Slave, Show Me How to Live. Rest in peace, Chris Cornell. Going to be nice today, at least in our area. 72, lots of sunshine.
Mm-hmm. It looks good for the next couple days. I got to get some more lawn bags. I ran out of lawn bags.
For what?
Leaves and garbage and stuff to take to the dump.
You do the paper?
Yeah. I got 2 of them full. I got 1 trillion helicopters have fallen off of my stupid dumb maple tree.
I think in the backyard this year, I'm gonna mulch. So like mow all the leaves and just leave them there and
chop them all up. It's good.
See what happens. Rather than back-breaking, raking and all that crap.
You know, our garage is separated from our house and and I do love my maple tree. I don't mean it's stupid and dumb, but I hate the helicopters. But you have to, so you walk between the garage and the house constantly, and it's tracking them all in all the time. So I got to at least clean up all that area.
I got to have a conversation with my neighbor about his tree at some point.
I don't know what he's supposed to do about it. It drops its leaves late.
Not leaves. It has nothing to do. I don't mind. Whatever. Leaves. I get it. Leaves are leaves.
The crazy branches?
The problem is the branches. I mean, it's a big-ass tree, and it is hanging over my house. And thankfully, knock on wood, whenever there's been heavy winds and severe storms in the area, the big branches that fall have landed in my yard as opposed to on my house or on my deck. But there are several branches that are over the house, and it's just a matter of time before something happens. So I got to talk to this guy and be like, what's up with that tree, bro?
Maybe some scotcheroos or something.
Nah, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna broach the subject with some sweet treats.
Crack a brewski and walk over there.
I told you. That's the other side of the house.
Okay.
This is the other side of the house.
The not a crack brewski and walk over and have a discussion, dude. Not like
cordial, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just never really had a in-depth conversation with this gentleman, so I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know if he's going to try to kung fu fight me or what.
Ooh, you got a Ring camera?
No, I don't know.
I can watch all that.
We'll be all right. We'll figure it out. Some chili peppers coming up in just a bit. Josh said, as far as trees go, anything that hangs over the property line, you can cut. Yeah, I don't want to cut it. I want him to cut it. It's his damn tree. That's the point.
Well, maybe you just cut it, then you don't have to have a discussion with him about it.
I think you have to at least say, hey, look, dude.
I'm going to take some branches off.
I'm going to cut some of these off because I don't want them landing on my house. But I also don't want to do that because that's not my tree. And I don't want to spend the money. See what happens. Chili peppers coming up next.
More of your rock mornings coming up in just a bit.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The Half from 2.5 Men. Angus Jones, 31 years old today. Got Religion, denounced the show, but did show up for the series finale. Angus T. Jones, 31. Bruno Mars, 39 years old. He's in big debt out there in Vegas, right?
That is deal.
He's got to, essentially do a residency to, pay off some of his gambling debt.
Ooh.
I think that's the rumor, at least. Thought there was a story I saw.
Yo.
Bruno Mars, though, 39 years old today. WWE superstar who got his start on the Real World and Road Rules Challenge, Mike the Miz, whatever his name is 44.
Because I'm the Miz!
The Miz.
Last names, man. Can't do it.
And I'm awesome!
He's the Miz and he's awesome. He'll tell you all about it. Matt Damon is 54.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Matt Damon, 54. Had to go see about a girl. Sigourney Weaver, 75 years old.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Oof. Fighting aliens.
Yes.
Avatar movies, Dana and Ghostbusters. There is no Dana, only Zool. You see the new one, Frozen Empire? You watch
No,
it?
but
it's on Netflix.
I know. It's actually on my list of things
All
to
right.
get to because it does look fun.
You know who else is getting old? Chevy Chase, 81.
Oh, I'm sure.
We're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye.
81.
That actually doesn't.
Paul Hogan, 85, from Crocodile Dundee.
Nice.
That's a noise.
That's a knife.
85,
And
huh?
yeah, he's getting up there too. Johnny Ramone, born on this day in 1948, died in 04. Was the guitarist for the Ramones. Stole Joey's woman, married her, and those two hated each other, but they seemed to make it work on stage.
It was angry music, I guess.
You can get through it. On this day in 1956, Don Larson threw the first and only perfect game in World Series history when the Yankees beat the Dodgers 2-0, 68 years ago today. The way they throw out pitchers now, it's probably not going to be a thing ever again. You don't see too many complete games. 91, crazy. 1991, 33 years ago today, Soundgarden releasing their third studio album, Bad Motor Finger, featuring Rusty Cage, Outshined, Jesus Christ Pose. It's a hell of an album.
Sure
91.
is.
Ugh. How did we get so old? Oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good. Also in 1991, Vanilla Ice dropped the soundtrack for Cool as Ice, a movie that he starred in.
Oh, yeah, Cat. Words of wisdom. Drop that zero and get with the hero.
Yep. No?
Is this your dollar bill? Is this what you're talking about?
He did sign my dollar bill.
I know he did.
And then
Twice,
he ruined
didn't it?
Yeah, the second time not so much. 1993, Demolition Man in theaters.
I don't know if you guys know it, but you're out of toilet paper.
Hey, did you say toilet paper?
Oh, they used handfuls of wadded paper back in the 20s.
I'm happy that you're happy, but the place where you're supposed to have the toilet paper, you got this little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
Nobody knows how to use the 3 seashells. 3 seashells. Jeez.
Nope.
Demolition Man. 96, Marilyn Manson releasing their second album, Antichrist Superstar. It was a big one. Tourniquet, Beautiful People.
That's where everybody lost their mind and was like, oh, you can't do a tour or live performance. Don't stop in our town.
Bro, those
It'll make the kids crazy. They won't know what's
some
going
of the
on.
best shows I've ever been to in my entire life. I must have seen them, I don't know, half a dozen times
He'll
on
wreck
that
the
tour.
children.
And it was awesome. The spectacle of it all was even better than what was inside.
No.
The people protesting and the moms and all. Oh, it was awesome. It was fantastic.
How will we get past this, the kids?
1996, Antichrist Superstar, in stores. 3 years later, a little movie based on an SNL character made its way into theaters called Superstar.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I smell them like that.
That's gross.
It's really gross. It's gross.
It's gross. Yeah, it is.
2004, George W. Bush coined the phrase "the internets."
I hear there's rumors on the internets.
In response to a question about the draft during his second presidential debate with John Kerry, George W. Bush dropped that bit of wisdom on us. I hear there's rumors on the internets. You know, that Al Gore created? Was it Al Gore? Right, that created, or was it the other guy? Who was it?
The internets.
The internets, yeah. 2011, Weezer bass player Mikey Welsh died of an overdose at the age of 40. And in 2021, 3 years ago today, the 25th James Bond film, No Time to Die, made its way into theaters. Billie Eilish did the theme song to that one. There you go. Some stuff that happened on October 8th, along with some birthdays. Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom for another three-way in a couple of minutes, plus Grant Bills from the Wisco Sports Show is going to join us at about 8:25. Stick around.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Final three-way of the morning with Scott Robert Shaw in the newsroom. What's up?
Well, we begin with the latest on Milton. The hurricane is said to be weakening slightly today, but remains a ferocious storm that could land a once-in-a-century direct hit on Tampa and St. Petersburg, providing towering storm surges and turning debris from Helene's devastation just 12 days ago into projectiles. Governor Ron DeSantis this morning is assuring people in Florida there is enough fuel for them to get away from Hurricane Milton. He says there's no fuel shortage and that fuel continues to arrive in the state, despite the long lines at gas stations. He said they're working with fuel companies to continue bringing in more gasoline. DeSantis also said you do not have to get on the interstate and go far away. You can evacuate tens of miles. You do have options. The state has helped evacuate more than 200 healthcare facilities in Milton's path, and 36 county-run shelters are open. Hurricane Milton forcing NFL, NHL, and other sporting events to adjust their game plans. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are planning to relocate to the New Orleans area to prepare for Sunday's game against the Saints, with Hurricane Milton expected to make landfall along Florida's west coast this week. The Bucs intend to travel today and spend the rest of the week out of state instead of practicing as usual at the team's training facility in Tampa. Milton strengthened to a Category 5 hurricane and has since weakened to a Category 4, but is expected to cause significant damage when it makes landfall in the Tampa Bay area tomorrow. The NHL's Tampa Bay Lightning canceled last night's scheduled preseason game against the Nashville Predators. The Toma man, arrested last month for a murder from the 1980s, is scheduled to be back in court today. Michael Popp returns to Vernon County Court to continue his initial appearance. Popp is accused of killing La Crosse area woman Terry Dalloway in 1985. Dalloway's headless body was discovered burning in a ditch. His cash bond was set at $1 million during his first appearance. Another cleanup of encampments in La Crosse is underway. City police and other authorities, including state police, are removing tents and other items from the Black River shore along Rose Street. People who've been camping in that area were told several days ago that the removal effort would happen on October 7th. Boz was one of the people required to move from the riverfront, and he was pondering where he would go next.
Right now, we're just looking at options as far as going up into the woods. I started school about a month ago, so, I got to stay kind of close to La Crosse. I go to TC.
Large dumpsters have been placed near the highway for the disposal of items being removed from the riverfront. A similar cleanup was recently done on a different part of the river, just north of Riverside Park.
So are they forcing them to not be there, or are they just getting rid of all the stuff that's
Yes, they're
there?
forcing them to move.
Okay.
That is apparently state property, that particular stretch.
My assumption was that the DNR probably had some say in that because it's right there on the river.
Yeah,
and
it's
obviously
illegal to camp along a highway, basically, so that's why they're making them move along.
Gotcha.
The cost of a Mega Millions lottery ticket will soon more than double, but those behind the effort say they're confident players won't mind paying more after changes that will lead to larger prizes and more frequent winners. They've announced that it will cost $5 to play Mega Millions beginning in April. That's up from the current $2 per ticket. Powerball will not change its $2 price.
Yet.
Right. Exactly.
They're going to watch.
Well, they used to be $1. Now they're
they'll see
right,
how
but they'll see how it goes, and once they get the data on that, they'll up their prices as well. Nothing ever gets cheaper, Shaw. It's not like they're going to be like...
That is true.
Stamps go up, cost of milk goes up, gas prices go up.
Is this the first increase in that for...
Yeah, I remember how long ago it was. It went from $1 to $2, I want to say about 3 years ago. But, now more than doubling to $5.
Big jump.
Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. Bad news, happy music coming up in just a bit. Also, Grant Bills will join us after Disturbed.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Disturbed Inside the Fire on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. And on Tuesday mornings, right around 8:20, 8:25, we're joined by Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. This is some of my favorite time every week I get to spend with both of you. I'm doing excellent.
Oh. Grant has been he's been texting me on a more recent basis
you guys
lately.
Are friends?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's trying to bridge a gap, if he's trying to become my friend. I
love that. This is good. You just talked yesterday about needing dude friends.
I didn't say I need dude friends. I said I was envious of a couple of guys I know who have a unique texting relationship.
I heard that you needed dude friends. So, Grant, it's nice to have you be part of Brian's active online life. This is good.
I can be his friend. I can't pick him up from his colonoscopies. That will have to be you. Gene, you'll have to take care of that. But the other things, I can text him about sports, stuff like that. I got that.
How about food? Can you text him about food?
I don't know if Grant and I share the same qualities when it comes to food.
Wait a minute now. What?
What kind of mayonnaise do you eat?
I have a smoker. I cook meat. Is that why you don't think I cook meat? I can cook meat.
What kind of mayonnaise do you eat?
I don't know. I didn't buy it. Not Miracle Whip. I think it's Hellman.
There we go.
All right. We're on the right track here.
So far.
We're laying the first
Why did
brick.
I know you were anti-Miracle Whip? What's so wrong with
I'm not anti-Miracle Whip. I'm just saying it's not mayonnaise, and if given the choice, I will never choose Miracle Whip over Hellman's. Hellman's is the only mayonnaise out there.
Cake or pie?
Well, our food relationship is off to a good start. If given the choice between good cake and good pie, I'd probably take good pie, but who bakes pies in 2024? So cake is also good.
Yeah, you lost me on the cake. I'm a cake guy.
He's a cake guy. But you know what? That was a real close answer. That was a non-committal.
What kind of milk? What kind of milk do you drink?
It was a kind of a percentage-wise. He's asking percentage-wise.
Milk? I don't drink milk per se. We have milk in the fridge for coffee and for random things. Normally it's oat milk. I think this week I have almond milk.
We're out. We're not friends.
Yes, you are.
No, can't be friends.
Is that a girl thing? Is the girl
can't be friends with a guy who drinks oat milk or almond milk? It's not milk if it comes from a nut. Okay, everyone knows that. It's got to come from a cow.
For coffee, what do you pour a tall glass of milk? What is this? 1960?
Yes,
with respect,
it's
of course,
delicious and it's good for you. You know, you host a show called the Wisco Sports Show where milk and cows and dairy come from, right? And you're going to crap all over the hardworking farmers who break their backs every day to provide you with delicious, fresh, ice-cold milk with some oat juice.
Four massive blocks of cheese.
I was just going to say.
So much cheese.
Yogurt.
So much ice cream.
Cheese. Ice cream.
I can't, a glass of milk. For whatever reason, I can't get there. I don't know why.
Bro,
it's all right.
An ice-cold glass of whole milk is
with
so
some
effing good.
What if you're dunking cookies in it? Would you do it then?
He probably has to eat gluten-free cookies or something.
Hey, now.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous. Brian, we can be friends. Stop looking for reasons why we can't be friends.
I do have
reasons why we can be.
I do have a question about your text from the other day when you referenced sharing a moment. Was that between me and you, or was that something else?
Did I say we were having a moment?
Yeah, you said I think we just shared a moment. And I was taken aback by that because no other man has ever texted me that.
There's no way I said that to you. Did I actually?
You did. I delete all my texts so I don't have it.
You said, sorry about your Brewers. And I said, and this is very genuine. I said, you know what? Thank you. That sucked a lot. And then I said, I felt like we're having a moment. That was a nice moment for you to say, you know what, Grant? What happened to your Brewers last week was brutal, and I'm sorry about that. And that's as nice, that's as kind as you've ever been to me.
I think that's just an automated response that you get when someone's team gets eliminated.
God, you have been terrible to him in the past where he thinks this was kindness. God.
For most people, it's a thing that you say. But Brian, you're not most people. You don't say those normal pleasantries, the normal small talk things that other people say.
True. And speaking of the Brewers, they're out. So let's start steering the conversation towards Packerland. Another win for Jordan Love. It wasn't pretty at times, but able to get the deal done in the second half, even without Romeo Doubs, who apparently has hashed things out with LaFleur, and it sounds like they're going to start moving ahead with this whole thing. But Where do we see the Packers going now? They've got Arizona coming into the building. I think Kyler Murray just got a deal with Call of Duty, so is he even going to be on the field, or is he going to be too busy playing video games?
Oh, I like Kyler Murray. He's sick. I wouldn't want to build my team around him, but I really like watching him. So I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a challenge. The Packers historically have struggled basically my whole lifetime with running quarterbacks, so that'll be a challenge for them this weekend. The win against the Rams is important. That was Jordan Love's first win this season. So while I don't think we're going to all of a sudden have some quarterback controversy with Malik Willis, like if the Packers are 2-3 and all 3 losses are at the hands of Jordan Love, it starts to become a little bit of a problem. So that was big. And I think this team, Brian, they have so much potential. They have so much firepower on offense where Christian Watson can be hurt, Luke Musgrave can be hurt, and Romeo Doubs can be suspended, and they can still create big plays with Kraft and Reed, and Wicks is open all the time. They have all this firepower. They've gotten in their own way. It's been penalties and drops and brain farts. So that's what I'm looking for over the next couple of weeks with Arizona this weekend, Houston the next weekend, both games at home. Can you start to clean up some of those little mistakes? Can this team kind of start to take some nice steps in the second and third month of the season? That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, obviously the month of October, the schedule for the Packers is delightful. You've got the Cardinals, who are okay. They're coming into town. But then, as you mentioned, Texans and then Jaguars, which is you can put that in pen on the calendar as a W as opposed to in pencil. Before things get tough when you start playing, of course, the Lions and the Bears and divisional rivals.
Yeah, I don't know. This season has taught me some interesting lessons. It's just so hard to win in the NFL, and coaches say it all the time. It's hard to win in this league. I think this year more than ever, because we were so high on this Packers team, and I think so highly of some of the talent that they have. And I've just been reminded a couple of times this season watching. It's like, oh yeah, if you don't show up, you can lose to anyone at any time. Like the Ravens, who won maybe the most entertaining, the highest scoring game of the year on Sunday. That team lost to the Raiders 3 weeks ago. The Raiders are a joke. Like, their coach is not serious. He's calling out players after the game for business decisions. Like, if you don't show up every week, you're going to lose. So while I would love to have confidence about the Cardinals, Kyler Murray's a real player, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, they're good. Like, they could lose any of these games, but I think they have an awesome opportunity the next month or two. Just clean up some of the mistakes. Right, start to grow up a little bit as a very young team, and they should be well on their way this season to getting where they want to go.
Bucs are in preseason, couple more games before they kick things off, I think on, the 23rd against the 76ers. When do you start shifting a little bit of your focus to the Bucs?
Okay, so here's the thing. For years, and maybe we've talked about this, Simpson, not since we've recently become friends, but maybe we talked in passing over the years. Like, I was NBA guy. Regular season NBA, I like it. I like getting in the weeds and, regular season January NBA games. Like, I'll get me down in the slop. Over the last year or so, this league has kind of lost me, man. I'm gonna watch, obviously, but so often on a random Tuesday or Wednesday night in December, January, February, I'm just like, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing? Half the good players aren't playing. The players that are playing, you can tell that they're not really trying all that hard. Like, it's not a Bucs issue. It's just the NBA as a whole. I'm having a hard time. I know it's preseason right now, but even when the games actually start mattering, the regular season games, do they matter? You know what I mean? And your teams just came off an NBA championship, so this year is going to be like one big celebration. So I suppose you'll enjoy it from that standpoint. But we're 5 months away from an actual point where we start thinking, oh, these games really matter. Like, I really need to watch this game. It feels so far away.
All right, so he's going to keep his focus on the Packers for the time being. Do you get into hockey at all, Grant? I know that Wisconsin, other than the Badgers, we don't really have a hockey thing around here, but do you care at all about hockey? I know the NHL season's kicking off here.
Well, I might if we had a team. I do follow the Bruins a little bit, your team. I wouldn't say I cheer for them, but I follow them. Well, Gene, and this is maybe why
Original
Brian
Six,
and
baby.
I have become closer. I listen to a little Boston sports radio because, God, is it entertaining. Those people are just miserable, and it's hilarious. And they've been having some drama with their tender, their goalie, Jeremy Swayman, had a contract holdout, and it's been very entertaining to follow. So, I follow some hockey stuff, but we don't have a team. And I'm not going to cheer for the Blackhawks. God, no, I'm not going to be that guy. So I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll grow into that as I get older, Simpson. And maybe you can mentor me in that. Maybe you could be a part of that.
All right, it's getting real weird.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
When a younger man asks you to mentor him, I feel like I have to get the authorities involved.
You guys are texting. And
You've never mentored a younger man in radio, Simpson, a younger man, or it could be a woman, You've never taken a young broadcaster under your wing?
This is a budding relationship between the two of you, and I think we just leave it at that for today. I think that's as far as today needs to go.
I'm not much of a mentor. You know what I mean?
I think it's a budding relationship. You guys keep texting, a little bit of chit-chat.
I like the brevity that Grant provides when it comes to texting, though. That's unlike a lot of people.
Short and to the point.
Yes, and it's just a couple quick ones, and then that's it. There's no, lengthy attempt at a conversation here. So that's nice, Grant. Keep it short and sweet. Succinct.
I'll do that. I don't really know what I'd be taking you away from. What time do you leave work in the morning?
As soon as humanly possible, I get out of this effing building. As soon as I can. Not a moment past 10 a.m.
Like
get the hell out of here.
I'm distracting you from your family or whatever. Yeah, but I'll be brief. Yeah, you got it.
Grant Bills from the Wisco Sports Show. Listen to him weekday afternoons across the entire state. Thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, buddy. Goodbye, Gene.
Bye, hon.
Always a pleasure. Mentor.
Almond milk.
Oh, yeah, that's a girlfriend.
I was just going to say,
Granted,
that is such a girlfriend
That is
thing.
definitely a girlfriend thing.
I have a lot of girls in my house, and that is a girl thing for sure.
I'm going to have to force him to drink a glass of ice cold whole milk.
Next time you guys are together.
Next time we're together.
Go cookie dunking together with some milk.
If you have like a pepperoni pizza and you eat a slice and then you chug that, it's so effing good. So good.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing out on the joys in life. We'll get to bad news, happy music in a bit.
Rock mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Tuesday edition. What do we got, Shaw?
Well, it's been over 20 years since the Concorde's last flight. And since then, the idea of supersonic flight has mostly been grounded. Many countries have blocked planes from traveling at such a high speed due to the disturbance from noisy sonic booms when they break the sound barrier. And the technology is expensive, with tickets historically out of reach for all but the very rich. But now interest is again taking off in these super speedy planes. And this time, they could be more than twice as fast as the Concorde.
Man.
A startup engineering company called Venus Aerospace unveiled an engine. It says it is capable of super high-speed hypersonic flight. That means reaching speeds over 5 times the speed of sound. An even more powerful version of supersonic, which Concorde was. Their engine can reportedly reach speeds of Mach 6, which is 6 times the speed of sound. Dude. That would be about 3,600 miles an hour, making it possible to travel the distance from London to New York in just 1 hour.
No way.
They're planning a test flight next year. This plane would fly higher than traditional aircraft, taking off using traditional jet engines, but then transitioning to rockets once it reaches altitude.
Holy moly.
Can you imagine?
I am speed.
That's fast.
That's fast.
Are you going to feel it as a passenger like you would in like a military jet?
No.
You know what I mean? You get the G-force and all that stuff?
I don't believe so, but I don't know how they address that, I guess. Because you're right. You'd think you would.
Somebody that's much smarter than us will, I'm sure, text in and tell us what the hell happens there. But
a woman in England claims she was hospitalized when a cauliflower fell on her head while she was shopping at a grocery store. Sammy Mai was vacationing with her husband in Bath, England, when she believes the vegetable plummeted some 4 feet from the top shelf. The impact is alleged to have caused her to black out. She came to see
cauliflower?
Yes.
Boy, she must have a soft skull.
Right? to see the cauliflower by her side, which she claims staff later put back onto the shelf, adding insult to injury. She was taken to the hospital.
What do you want him to do?
How short is she?
Like save it for the police investigation?
I don't know what
something?
she wants. It's a cauliflower.
It bonked you on the head and it hit the floor. We'll rinse it off and we'll put it back. I mean,
you know how short you got to be to have a cauliflower fall 4 feet from the top shelf? How would you get
why are the vegetables on the top shelf?
Well, that's another question, right? And that's what she wants to know. She's now criticized the supermarket for giving her a $25 voucher and an $8 taxi fare in response to the incident. She calls that insulting.
Google British grocery stores. See if there's something we don't know, if they've got something going on with the vegetable aisle.
She said, I don't know how the cauliflower fell, but they should not store heavy, roundish items like that on the top shelf.
Unless it's like extra, right? Like cauliflower down here.
But you wouldn't put it. It's got to stay in the back in the fridge where all the rest of the veggies
Typically,
are.
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever been in a grocery store where the vegetables are higher than my shoulders.
No,
you got to be really small too, because I mean, if it's 4 feet that it fell, so you're underneath.
So it's on top of a shelf, is what you're saying.
10, 12 feet high.
You sure it was a cauliflower? It wasn't something else?
Yeah,
like a bowling ball?
What do they weigh? About 1.5 pounds, maybe?
I mean, come on. And they're soft.
Right?
They're not like rock hard.
Yeah.
She's making it up.
I don't know.
I don't believe her.
I don't understand why it fell. I don't understand
I'm calling shenanigans.
Where they keep it.
Yeah, what's going to make it topple, right? I mean, unless there's an earthquake, it's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
Australia's largest airline had to apologize yesterday after accidentally screening 40 minutes of penis and boobs to an entire aircraft full of passengers.
Like porno or just pictures?
No, it was a movie. This happened on a Qantas flight from Sydney to Tokyo after a technical fault rendered the individual in-flight movie selections unavailable. So staff held a quick poll, which resulted in a small selection of passengers picking the racy Dakota Johnson flick Daddy-O, which apparently features an erect penis, prolonged sexting exchanges, and use of the F word on every screen, on every seat in the airplane.
Only a couple people voted, but everybody was subjected to the
Yeah, they could only show one movie. That was the bottom line, and that was the one that was chosen. It was only about halfway through the movie that eyebrows were sufficiently raised for the staff to then change it to something a little more family-friendly.
That sounds like a brewer bus trip to me.
A sheriff's deputy...
Just that one time, man. One time. I don't know, whatever. It's a
sheriff's deputy
movie.
in Washington State is walking with a limp after a suspected drunk driver hit his patrol car and took off. He says it's more evidence of what he sees as an epidemic of dangerous driving on the roads. He and his passenger both suffered minor injuries in the crash, but both will survive. The driver that hit them was caught after she ditched her car. It was just 18 months ago. The same sheriff was hit by a different allegedly drunk driver.
Oh, my God.
That time, he was knocked unconscious and woke up in a hospital bed. He says these types of accidents are happening more often and wants the governor to declare an emergency on their roads.
Saw a vehicle approaching, and all of a sudden it veered kind of almost into the oncoming lane. I don't think she even knew that she hit a car. She was pretty intoxicated when I walked by her after they captured her. So I'm not sure she knew what state she was in. I look over and see the cars taking off down Hensley Street. I'm just like, can't make it up. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a special victim because our deputies were just clearing up from a really bad DUI crash with injuries out in Yelm when they were coming to me. So it's just happening every night.
This guy might need to get a desk job.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting T-boned.
He's a magnet.
Multiple times.
Back to England, an executive at an alcoholism charity was caught driving while drunk and hiding from police in a bush. Eliza Loftus was almost 3 times the legal limit when she crashed her car into a tree and then tried to hide in some shrubbery. She is the marketing director and chief fundraiser for the group Be Well, Stay Well, which offers counseling to alcohol and drug addicts in England. She's been banned from driving for the next 40 months after pleading guilty to driving drunk. When police got there, somebody pointed out that she was hiding in a bush. Police approached the bush and shouted, "Police, come out." The woman came out and said, "I'm sorry." Police said she was unsteady on her feet, and her blood alcohol level was found to be nearly 3 times the legal limit. She's now had to turn to her own charity for help in response to the crash and vows it will never be repeated.
The knights who say ni demand a sacrifice. Well, what is it you want? We want a shrubbery. What?
She was there to provide a shrubbery.
I'm not that intoxicated.
Yeah, you are, a lady in the shrub.
Yep.
A man in Canada who fired several shots at police before hiding in a septic tank has been given an 8-year prison sentence. Sheldon Badger pleaded guilty to a number of offenses, including discharging a firearm with intent to injure a police officer. On the day of the incident, police went to arrest this man, Prentice Bowman. He didn't want to go quietly, however.
Yeah.
He pointed a sawed-off firearm in the direction of one of the officers. Using his police vehicle as cover, the officer drew his own gun and yelled at Badger to drop his. That was met with an FU response from the suspect. Then the man started shooting at police. Police returned fire. Badger then fired a second round of shots before running in the direction of the police vehicle where the officer had ducked for cover and was in the process of reloading. Badger then fled in an unknown direction. Fortunately, neither the officers nor Badger were injured during the exchange of gunfire. Badger was later found hiding in a septic tank, and after they emptied the septic tank, they found and recovered the rifle that he was used. He's also prohibited from life from owning or possessing any firearms.
Have you ever fired your gun up in the air and gone, ah? No, I have not ever fired my gun up in the air and gone, ah.
That is a bad place to hide.
I did hide out in a septic tank.
Yeah.
Right? They say you shouldn't feed wild animals because it can make them domesticated. As this woman in Washington State found out, a woman was recently overrun by more than 100 raccoons. This woman has been feeding raccoons in her area for almost 4 decades.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yes, it's
my
unbelievable.
God. Hundreds of them.
Deputies had to come to her rescue after she was forced to hide in her car to escape the raccoons. The woman told deputies she's been feeding the raccoons for about 35 years, but never was inundated by them until a few weeks ago. She said the raccoons had been surrounding her day and night, demanding food. Deputies referred her to the State Department of Fish and Wildlife to help find a solution.
You're not supposed to do that.
Speaking of raccoons, Shaw.
Yes.
But I did see the guy feeding the hot dogs. Did you see that video? They're like climbing all over. I mean,
we had Cocaine Bear.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
And then I think we had Meth Gator.
Yes, that's true, too.
Well, we're getting Crack-Coon.
Crack-Coon.
It's a film about a raccoon that gets high on crack and then starts attacking people.
What the hell is that?
It's probably a bear or something.
It ain't no bear. I think I know what it is.
I am telling you, it's a killer raccoon, okay?
It's real. Go ahead and Google it.
It's a real movie.
Crack-Coon.
Crack-Coon.
Yeah.
And finally, in Colorado, there's a guy named John O'Neill who's had a bit of a rough go of it. He made it out of rehab. He found himself some stable housing. He was sober. And he finally landed a job doing what he loved, tree work. But on his first day on the job, just 15 minutes into that day, the 33-year-old found himself fighting for his life, gripping the edge of a wood chipper as blades whipped through his legs below. On the morning of September 24th, the day after it happened, he awoke in a hospital bed. He'd received about 15 pints of blood and was about to be given more. When he looked down, he saw his legs were gone. He had just begun working the wood chipper that morning, put a fish-hook-shaped branch into the chipper. When the blades flipped the hook of the branch around, the wood got wedged under his court-ordered ankle monitor and began dragging him into the wood chipper.
Oh, the ankle monitor got him.
This is a horror movie scene.
The blades made clean cuts through his boots, then into his feet, up both legs, and over the knee. He said, I was yelling for help, but everyone had ear protection on. It took a minute before my coworkers realized what was happening. It wasn't until the blades hit his mid-thigh that his coworkers were able to pull him out.
Oh, my God.
He said, I looked down and saw something like you'd see in the movies. Skin, bone, arteries, muscle tissue, and an immense amount of blood flowing from his body.
No.
He grabbed a nearby rope and worked with his coworkers to make a makeshift tourniquet. On his way to the hospital via a med flight, they say technically he died, but they were able to revive him. He firmly believes that if he didn't have that ankle monitor on, he would have been able to get free.
Oh, my gosh.
It's horrific.
Maybe the best thing to do would be to take care of that right here in Brainerd.
That is horrific.
I don't know if I'd want to.
I don't know, man.
I think I'd want to.
How are you even conscious to wrap your...
Don't those things have some kind of sensor or something?
No.
Like
something that would, a safety device that would shut them off?
Like it notices that there's something soft in there? Or like that
that's
there's
how
a bigger...
people die. That's what they...
Yeah, he's lucky to be alive, but he has no legs.
But, I don't know.
I have no legs. I have no legs.
This Crack-Coon something.
Right? I told you.
I have legs! Oh, look at this. Man, I can walk. Jesus. Praise Jesus.
Too soon.
It's surprisingly awful, and it's CGI or like
it's like Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, it's really bad.
But I mean, at least the bear seemed like not.
Well, that was a professional Hollywood film, though. I mean, like that
what
had.
is this? This is just
somebody with an iPhone making a movie about a crazy cracked up raccoon. Yeah. I saw it last week. I saw the trailer, and then a bunch of people started sending it to me, and I'm like, I got it. I'm like, I don't know if I'm not really going down that road with the Crack-Coon show.
It looks real bad. Real bad.
But if now that you're going to be retiring, Shaw, if you want to come over and watch Crack-Coon
watch some Crack-Coon, yeah.
We'll get together. We'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch the trailer right now, Shaw.
Bad news, happy music. Thanks, Shaw. Sure. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Speaking of rehab.
Rock mornings. Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Rockmornings.com is the website. All of our contact information right there. You can listen to the show live. You can check out our daily podcast. I got a message earlier, from my buddy Josh talking about the tree.
Okay, you've got a neighbor's tree. Its branches hang on your house, near your house, could be on your house.
He said, as far as trees go, anything that hangs over the property line, you can cut. I said, I understand that, but I don't want the responsibility, and I also don't want to pay the bill.
Because it's way up there. Is that right? I mean,
it's a huge tree. It's massive.
And these branches hang over your house way up in the air. So you'd have to, it's not something you can cut with a saw from down on the ground.
No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. Greg sent us a message on Facebook, said that if Grant switches to almond milk, you two can be friends again. It's not almond milk, it's Malk, M-A-L-K. I don't know. He sent in a video. It looks really stupid. I don't know what the hell you're trying to get at, Greg. I'm not going to friend him no matter what he drinks, unless it's whole milk. Red cap, 100%. I don't need anything with almond in it. Disgusting. Somebody texted in, said, hey, Brian, Shaw should have more time to go golfing with you now that he's retiring.
He should.
Yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling that he's not going to be getting in touch with me. Dean texted in, said, I still remember first time I heard Rusty Cage when I was a kid. It was on the soundtrack of an old video game called Road Rash on the 3DO Entertainment System. Boy, that's...
Well, you're talking about Soundgardens 31 years ago today, was that it?
33 years ago today. 1991, Bad Motor Finger in stores on this day in 91. It's crazy. Ogre texted in, eat boiled eggshells. Calcium and vitamins. The membrane of the shell is excellent for joint health as well.
Oh.
You can grind them up and add to other foods or drinks. I like munching on a hard-boiled egg with the shell on. It freaks out my coworkers.
As opposed to taking a calcium pill? Is that what he's saying?
I think Ogre just likes to be weird. Ogre just likes to be a weird guy.
Hey, you do you. I'm not probably going to eat some eggshells. Unless they accidentally get into my baking.
Tom texted in and said, 1 foot fart spray, other foot airhead spray. Very confusing smell.
I get what he's eating. One is bad, one is good, and you're walking.
Mike said, I thought you were going to purchase a generator for your house. And I said, if I had the money, I'd buy a Jenny. He said, spend it. You can't take it with you. I'll get around to it. I'm buying a shed right now.
Well, you buy one, and then we'll just come live with you if anything happens.
Bro.
You got plenty of room. We'll just bring all the dogs and the cats and the people and the kids.
Cats, fine.
The
rest of you are not welcome.
Kids, come on.
Your inability to listen to me when I told you not to smoke in my hot tub. It said all I need to know about you and living together.
And I'll bring Lori.
That's fine. Lori, I like having you and your insanity and your refrigerator stuff. I don't need any of that in my house. No.
We'll come on over.
And
be a party.
You got to make it past my my home security system.
Soup or something.
I don't want your stupid chickpea soup. Nothing you do is good for me.
Stop it.
I never got my paella. You made the worst stuffing in the history of mankind. You're making chickpea soup.
I brought you breakfast chili on Friday.
Yeah, it was leftover chili. That's who I am. I'm a leftover guy. That's it.
Well,
you didn't make
good?
me chili. It was fine. Thank you.
It was a fine breakfast chili.
Probably gluten-free too.
And I bring you chocolate chip banana muffins
that are gluten-free.
They
and
are.
You can tell they're weird.
Because they have to be.
They're very strange. The consistency is not correct.
Criticize my family for having celiac disease.
Look, I'm sorry they can't be man enough to not have celiac disease. All right. Maybe they should do some more push-ups or something.
Okay. What's the skin thing you've got?
What skin thing? Psoriasis? Yeah. I just leave skin everywhere I go. I'm fine with that. Constant pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never get past it. Bleeding all over the place. Little skin flakes everywhere. Oh, it's delightful. Yeah. It's great. Find that in your chili. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.